Dreamers, it's on these long and quiet nights I ask myself, how could I do more and do it better? And then something I read a long time ago whispers in my ear. All human activities are equivalent, and all are on principle doomed to failure. Thus it amounts to the same thing, whether one gets drunk alone or is a leader of a nation. And, dreamers, I pour myself a drink.
Bro, hello? Can't ever. Oh my God, my mic was on mute the whole time. All right, what's up, guys? Dr. J here, and I'm back with another live stream. It's been a couple months. Um, no one's not really here. Everyone got responsibilities. It's totally understandable. But I hope everyone is doing also well in their current lives right now. Uh, tell y'all the society we live in, it is just changing. Some things I can't really just seem to get my mind around, but it's like, hey, it's a dirty world we live in, and it's kind of crazy. But I was having this talk today where basically, um, with the guy who I work with, and he pretty much agreed with me on how the world, pretty much just changed, before COVID, but it seems like after COVID, um, people just changed, and the kind of change to where, like, yeah, I'm gonna change into this type of person here, but yeah, I'm gonna act like, who I pretty much knew in my past life don't matter to me no more. And I tell you, man, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna be wrong at the same time though. But let's just be glad that COVID did happen. Yes, COVID did had a lot of hard things to happen. People losing their lives, George Floyd riots, and also the riots and protests. Because, yeah, there was some rioting there, while this, um, hold on, wait a minute, start the party chat. Also, yeah, while this, the protests were happening, people were doing some rioting, and, people decided to just plan it on that. Oh yeah, people who over there protesting, they're rioting too. They're breaking in the stores, they're doing this, they're doing that. And I'm gonna say this, and look, I'm gonna say this once though. It's what people.
And now, a massive sentient energy spike in your area. I advise you to be careful.
I'm trying to get somewhere. Too much is being fused. Not, I'll probably might go attack that sentient. My God, I am this horrible at fishing. Alright, so, what I was saying earlier was that during that time of the riots and the protests and also people dying of a natural cause, but at the same time, I don't want to say it was a natural cause, but it seems like it was also pretty much like it was just gonna happen, but Obama himself, like, he said himself, like, hey, we need to prepare ourselves for a pandemic, and we didn't prepare, and look what happened, we were just panic buying. But what I really wanted to touch on was that people change because as soon as you put them in a dark corner, they pretty much reveal, their true colors of who they really are. Trust me, it has happened to me. I've seen it numerous times, unexpectedly, but when I tell y'all, man, I even grew up and even ate meals with the same people who I basically called friends, and meanwhile these cats weren't even friends to begin with. And it seems as if every year we're losing an important figure, and it's common because that's just part of life. Because we may, and you and I both know that we don't know when our time is going to be. I mean, let's just go ahead and get that straight. Let's see. Delete. Alright, so basically, you and I both know that, we just don't know when our time is going to be. But with the way on how some people have been, it's like you kind of pretty much seen it coming. And also at the same exact time too, I'm saying like, hey, yeah, these people around here, man, they fake, they call themselves your friend, and they ain't there, when you really need them and their support. And I'm like, yeah, I can pretty much relate to that because when I tell y'all, I've actually had people who I pretty much grew up with, these cats act like they ain't even knew me anymore. I mean, I eat meals with y'all cats, I basically, grew up with y'all, and yet, y'all treat me like I'm a stranger. And kind of glad that COVID did happen, just remove all, like, the fake people out your life, and yet you got the same people who, you were basically going to defend in your honor because you seen them, you seen them get bullied or whatever, right? You did that, you're a good person. But I made an Instagram post about that, and I don't really think they seen it. because I just unfollowed them on Instagram. I'm just like, hey, look, I just don't want nothing to do with y'all anymore, man. I'm saying, look, y'all fake, y'all mean, y'all messy. I don't want nothing to do with y'all, period. I mean, you can get mad all you want, but it's the person on how they treat the other one. It's as simple as that. I mean, there's just no denying that, you grew up with these people, and yet, they treat you like you're nothing. I was like, hey, you know what, though? At the same time, though, I don't care. Do what y'all want to in your own lives, but yeah, just leave me alone. Like, leave me out of it, man. Like, I don't want nothing to do with y'all. Simple as that.
I got you, sweet things. Ain't nothing for Nora in the real world except trouble. Trouble. And a few yahoos she could box for a century without a tea break.
And I'm just like, hey, you know what, though? When I do leave this state, I just want a whole new environment of friends. I might take a couple homies with me, man. Like brothers for life. I'm gonna say, hey, look, man, come move with me to Houston. So it's either Houston, Dallas, cause I'm saying, like, hey, look, I want to move out west. Cause like, look, forget the east, man. Like, forget the south. Cause you see, for me, I want to move out west. Cause I just want to see what the out west behavior is like. Cause I feel like it's just all about.
Do you remember the old war, Operator? Order seems to have misplaced those memories.
I feel as if, it's pretty much just about, how can we be better as people, and we can still get along. When I tell y'all, man, it's like some people, they don't want nothing to do with you, and you did nothing to them. But it's just how people are, so, it's just no changing that. So, when I tell y'all, don't be surprised how some people act. This is who they truly were, for like the longest. And even though you didn't really see it, but some other people can just see it. So, that's why I say never apologize, never just, have your reasoning for not wanting to be bothered by them anymore. And I'm going to tell you like this. You are pretty much gonna find yourself a new set of friends who you can actually call your friends, if not your brothers, your sisters. You can call them that, because at the same time, though, you can pretty much have a brotherhood based upon that. But the way in our society is changing is because of, yes, global pandemics, and also to mention
there are void fissures in the area. Use these to crack open a relic.
What are you using? Also to mention, global pandemics, short and long-term viruses that's happening on here. But basically, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, look, anytime something bad happens,
stand by for life support.
Whether it being...
You found a fissure. Look out for reactant.
Whether it being natural causes or like natural disasters, trust me, you put these same people in a corner. I'm gonna tell you like this. Watch how it all just crumbles. Even when I say that,
open a relic. The reactant is working on your relic.
Everything's all just gonna come crumbling down upon them, and there's nothing they can really do about it. But like this, anytime that does happen, do not be a reason you're not wanting to be with friends anymore. Because trust me, you tried to be their friend for the longest, right? You did nothing to them, right? But it's just like if you put them in a tiny corner, and you can know something about adaptability, yeah, they'll be fine. The others won't. I mean, it's as simple as that, man. This people, society. So, humanity,
All manner of Orican technology may work here due to the Circulus's proximity. If you have a necromech, you may use it.
So, with the very society that we live in, humanity is so horrible. I'm like, hey, you know what though? I'd rather trust a wild animal before I trust a human again. I mean, it's as simple as that. But the growth of trust actually has to occur, you know, from me bonding with so long, you know. Y'all ain't bonding and there's nothing that can pretty much be a build to just, you know, be established, you know?
Oculists are scanning for targets. The sentient is onto you. Look out for troopers. The longer you hold out, the deeper I can search. But if you need to leave, extraction is ready. Hiding Lua in the void risked the unfathomable. I fear we are seeing the consequences of that risk now. Destroy these void-stained enemies. cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside. We have only scratched the surface. This place holds many more secrets. Oculists, if they scan you, sentient fighters won't be far behind.